Це 237-й день українського спротиву.
Day 237 of Ukrainian resistance. This is Ukraine Медіацентру Україна. We are starting our next briefing. We have Sergiy Gamaliy, the head of Khmelnytskyi Oblast military administration, with us. Good afternoon, Mr. Gamaliy. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. We know that Khmelnytskyi region is very important for Ukraine due to several reasons. First of all, we can talk about electricity because this is a region where supplies are being generated and it's being transported further. It is also a logistics hub because we know that it connects very important roads, and there are very many military bases in this region. So could you tell us about the changes in the region over the past days when the Russians started this terror using UAVs in the region? Well, as we can all see, the enemy continues shelling the region. It strikes different energy infrastructure to spread chaos and panic in the region. We had 3 attacks last week targeting energy infrastructure. 3 missiles were shot down, and in general there were 6 missiles. Then there were the entire Khmelnytskyi amalgamated territorial community was without power, but we managed to recover already the supplies up to 90%. We still have some problems because even when we change the routes of energy, everyone has to understand that the enemy will keep attacking us, and we have to stand ready for everything. But sometimes we have to make some changes in terms of different lines. Sometimes transformators do not work in some parts, but all emergency services, the rest of services, they are functional, working. We are ready to resist all the challenges, and our healthcare facilities, they used generators to get power, and we keep working in this fashion. So what is the situation with nuclear power plant? Are there any additional measures which have been taken? Yes, since day one of the war, we know that this is one of the objects which is of the utmost importance. That is why, in order to prevent any attacks, we tried everything possible actually to provide this protection. And if you talk about these different routes for electricity, and experts say that the Russians know where they are heading and they know about the system. So maybe there are some backup systems or maybe some other capacities which could help you in this respect. So what about Khmelnytskyi? How is your region dealing with this? But this is not the only option that we have. Of course, that there are many other options. There are different scenarios in what way it could develop, and it's not 1 or 2 options that we have as a response. I would like to reiterate that we are ready for any developments. We also understand that Khmelnytskyi is the region where one can also run business, which is also very important for the country, which is in the state of war. So what is the situation with economy of the region as far as agricultural sector is concerned, defense sector, and others? I want to say that Khmelnytskyi region is a well-known farming region. Everyone knows about that. And we are convinced that in this year, we are convinced that we will be leaders in terms of crops gathered, and well, we have already gathered most of crops, and some last crops are being gathered. Some 80% of harvest is already there, and I always emphasize that the Khmelnytskyi region is a humanitarian region which is ready to feed the entire country. So in this respect, the situation is under control. Then probably the last question about a humanitarian component, because we know that the Khmelnytskyi region was one of the key humanitarian hubs during different evacuation waves. So how many people are there in the regions? How many left? Because we know that the situation is, well, more or less stable, and maybe there are some numbers that you could share with us, some statistics. Yes, we had 375,000 of IDPs in the region, and for us, any person who moved here is a citizen of our region. We have 103,000 IDPs. We had the visit by Ms. Vereshchuk, and she also noted how important it was for our region, and all the efforts that we applied in this respect. Also, we focus on people with disabilities. We have opened a new facility for the elderly, and it is a new facility. People, I was present at the opening, and people say that it is like a resort for them. So we are ready to take in more people, some families. We are getting ready for a heating season, and we are just trying to think what else we can do to help these people. We are ready to take in more people. We had the first, not only in Ukraine but in the world, professional career hub, and it was a great thing for the IDPs. Some people who arrived from other regions, they contributed to this educational. It was an educational hub, and we also worked with teachers amongst the IDPs, and we have many children who are studying online from the occupied territories, from the Luhansk region. There were 2 children who also participated in a studying process. So we really helped uh, in this respect, and the region is ready to continue providing this help to as many people as needed. We had Sergiy Gamaliy with us, the head of Khmelnytskyi Oblast military administration. We have discussed the situation in the region. At 1 o'clock, we will continue our briefings with Serhiy Karpenko, a director of the Union of Poultry Breeders of Ukraine. We will talk about very important things, the prices for